Welcome to the tutorial. This is actually the part 3 of the tutorial, Introduction to Project Management with .project. So if you actually need to watch the other two videos before watching this. Okay, actually video tutorial Introduction to Project Management, this is the combined of all three tutorials. So I provided to the article topic that actually covers the topics on all three videos, and I will keep links to the three separate videos here. And this is the discussion. I think in the first video we talked about this and a little bit of about .project. In the second video we have downloaded the .project, installed it, and we also provided an overview on .project different features. And in the third tutorial we will cover this topic. Now to understand this you need to watch the first one for sure, because you need to understand project management. Just the basics will be covered, so the basics, knowing the basics will help. And also if you go to the training video section, you see the part 1, Introduction to Project Management using .project. I think all three videos will be linked in this way. This is part 1 and another will be part 2 and another will be part 3. I just need to create them. Okay, let's go to the main topics or main discussion of this tutorial. Okay, this is the short notes. Okay, I'm closing all the unnecessary windows. Okay. Okay, now get to the point. So we installed .project under .project demo. I think I can better open a new browser. In that way I will be able to demonstrate side by side. So just gtc.net .project demo. This is the demo we just installed in our second tutorial. And I'm also opening one of my previously installed stuff if I need to demonstrate any concept concept from here. Okay, now come to the point, how to manage projects with .project. We see that project development or project management has 5 different steps. First is the initiation, then planning, then execution, then monitoring, then closing. The first one, the initiation. But how you can use initiation in .project? In .project you can go to projects, you can work on the proposed, and you can create a project here. So the concept is, in the project initiation, as we showed, if you go here and initiate a project, we just need to create the project charter, and that will contain this one, or what it contains. I think you will get some ideas how the project starts. And actually in the beginning, I think the outcome is a document providing the proposed project outlines and what it can contain or what it will contain. If you read this article, you will get some idea. Initiate a project. So in .project, what you can do, I think under proposed, you can create a project by clicking on new project. I think it is just a propose, that is, it is a project that is under proposal. And under this project, as we showed in the second tutorial thing, say this is the proposed one. So you can create all the tasks, corresponding tasks, just to formulate the project. I think you may also need to create different tasks and assign different people with the different tasks to collect data or to give ideas, or to address the future market and why this project is needed, why it needs to be implemented, and different ideas, just brainstorming and collecting ideas, and you can create the corresponding tasks, and maybe you can create the corresponding forums to get opinions and discussions, and Gantt chart to see the progress of the different tasks to initiate the project. And you can ultimately create different events to discuss about the project outline and how to formulate it, or what it should include, or what the project should include, everything. And finally you can create the project charter or project outline, format it, and you can attach that file under this file section. And you can use this new task or new event to create the corresponding task and corresponding events. Actually, so basically what you are doing, you are creating a project that's to formulate the project proposal, or to start the project. The outcome will be the project charter with all the outline of the project and all the tools required, all the suggestions required, everything. And in the meantime, you will be creating different tasks and different events, so that you can come up with a detailed and perfect project outline or project charter. And I think the task log can also help in communication. So that you need to do. Okay, this is the first one, project initiation. So what I am telling here, you can use the proposal tab under projects, when proposal is being reviewed or proposal is being formed, you see under projects, proposed. Interaction among involved people will help. Yeah, we can do the introduction and we can create all the task creation and interaction may be required. Okay, it can be treated as a small project for proposal formation, that's fine. After proposal is formed, proposal document will be created, project outline is formed, the project need to be planned in detail. Okay, then comes the project planning. Actually, project planning requires a lot of work. So what you can do in the planning stage, you can create another project under planning that will refer to the proposed project, or what you can do, you can edit this project and set the status to be in planning. If you go to edit this project, you can set the status to be in planning. So it's the second step of the planning. Or what you can do, maybe in planning you can create another project. Let's see if we can refer it to the proposed project or not. Project name, project owner, company, internal division. Okay, project type, short name, priority. Okay, you can create a new project for planning and you can import all the tasks from that one. It can be one way, or another thing can be you can create a new project and you can, in the description you can refer to the proposed project by URL or something, and this is to refer to this project, these URLs, but you may want to point them to the previous project. But I think the better way can be changing the projects under proposal into planning status. I think changing the status can be a better way to deal with. Or if you want to create a new project, you can also go for that, but you need to keep reference to the proposed project proposal in some way. Or maybe you can see that proposal project is done and this is under planning, and you can attach the project charter under this project under planning, so that people who will be involved with this project in the planning phase or after execution phase, they will not need to know what happened in the proposal stuffs. So it's just your choice, but I personally will prefer changing the status to planning. Okay, this is just how to create the planning project. So it will also be another small project where all the planning will be done. And what you will do in the planning phase, actually you have to do a lot in the planning phase. You have to do the first one of the thing, you have to do the communication management and human resource management. Okay, I think before that what you will need, from the overall target of the project, you can divide them into the sub project or sub modules, and all of the sub-modules and sub-tasks that can be broken down into smaller pieces of tasks. When you will have all the details of all the tasks, then you can define the human resources required for the project. Just part of human resources management, you can define different roles for the project. And what you can do, proposed, I'm just changing it to planning. Okay, it is now under planning. So in planning you can create different tasks for different planning. Initially you can create a task project breakdown, just to break down the project into smaller tasks or sub projects. I'm just giving arbitrary stuffs. And if you want to assign some people who will be doing this, or if you want to do it by yourself, okay, I think it has the dependencies, and here is the stuff. If you have another or more people here, you can assign more people them. So you'll be doing the project breakdown, and then you need to create another task for HR management. What you can do actually, you have to define roles, activities, I can say responsibilities, each roles, not really roles, role. So you can define different role: project manager, business analyst, system analyst, programmer analyst, senior programmer, junior programmer, whatever you like. Define the different roles. It will actually depend on the kind of project and the detailed structure of the project. As we created the broken project breakdown structure, this task can be dependent on that task. Maybe in the dependencies you can give that this is the dependent. Okay. So this is, you can define all the roles and the responsibilities for all the roles, and you need to decide who has to be assigned to whom, who has to be assigned in which project, or you need to hire additional resources or not. So you have to define the layout of all the persons involved. I think everything regarding to people who will be working for this project. So this will be the human resources management. Okay, you can define a period by which time you wanna fix this thing, and the thing is, you may want to create a forum or event if you need discussions with others for the human resources management. And also in that task you could assign different persons who will be working on the human resource management also. Still it's in the planning stage, and Also, I think there are task logs. Through the new log, you can keep updated on the progress on the human resource management. Or if you are the only involved person and the project is small, maybe you yourself can decide on the human resource management and come up with some ideas and put everything together into the description, or put it into a file and attach that file into this task or into this project. So that will work. Now another thing, you also need to define the project communication management, and you can also treat it the project communication management if you need the help of other persons or other people. So you can create another tasks on that. I'm just showing some one way, but this is not the ultimate way, the only one way. You can do it in different ways. Just to get an overview, communication management. I think who will report to whom, meeting schedules, how to communicate. Just you have to work to define these things, different topics. So how the different person will communicate, who will report to whom, and how the progress will be determined. So all the communication management needs to be planned here, and at one point you also need to inform all the project members of this communication plan so that they can interact effectively, not haphazardly. End date is before start date. That's kind of funny. Okay, so this is the communication management. Also, you need to plan on project time management and also on project cost management. You can create another tasks like project time management, and in time management actually the project breakdown structure that can be a dependent work or on which the project time management will be dependent, and in that case you can come up with timing for each of the individual tasks and try to define the overall project time in time management. And also in our first tutorial of this series, project management series, we talked about the CPM model. So you can use that CPM model to define the project time management. You can define all the tasks and the sequence of the task and dependencies of the task, and each task required of each of the task, and you schedule them in a way. And you also have to find out the shortest possible duration of the project. And I think you need to understand the CPM model a bit more to define the timing for the project. So that will go under the project time management. And after doing this, maybe you can create the CPM model, the diagram, and you can attach that diagram into this task or into this project. And on the process of formulating this time management, you may need to create different subtasks or different events to discuss with other people. You may need to communicate with them. You can communicate with the events, or you can communicate through different task log as we showed. Maybe we need to watch the second tutorial that will define what task logs are, and there will be email communications also. Okay, so you need to come up with the time management plan and create the final plan and attach it here. Also, you need to consider the risk factors while defining the appropriate times or project duration, and also you need to decide on when the project will start, when it will end. So everything you need to define here. After time management, you also need to define the cost management. Okay, for the cost management, you can also create another task for the project cost management. And one thing is, if these tasks like HR management, communication management, or time management, or cost management, if these are simple enough, or your project is simple, maybe tasks will work. If not, maybe you can try to create different other projects, short projects for those activities, and finally you can list all of the outcome of those projects into your root project. So in cost management, you also will require the project breakdown structure, and for each of the tasks you need to define the cost, how much time it requires. I think cost and time somehow related. For each of the tasks, how much cost will be required, and you also need to find out the optimum cost and the worst case cost, and also keep in mind the risk factors. And I think the developers cost and the other persons involved, I think their salaries and benefits, everything needs to be considered. I think for each of the tasks, if you consider that all the persons involved, how many hours they will be working, and what is the estimated cost for them, you can go through this way, or you can create in person wise. This person will be working, how many hours he will be working, and what is his salary, and what are the benefits he is getting. Based on this, you can come up with the figures, how much cost, how much this project will cost you. And another thing is, as part of the cost management, actually we are planning. So in the planning stage, we just have to come up with the estimated cost and the corresponding budget, which task is going to have what amount of money. So this is one thing. Okay, so these are the steps you have to do in the planning step. Actually, also you need to plan the project risk management. You can create a sub project, or you can create another task here for the project risk management. What you can do, you can come up with some documents or ideas, what are the different risks involved, and analysis of the risks, how they can affect, how they will affect positively or negatively, or what are the probabilities that they will happen, and if they happen, what to do, what not to do, and just an overall plan you have to come up with. And also this can affect your cost management and also time management. And another thing is the quality management. You also need to plan your quality management, how you want to ensure the quality of your project. You can create the sub project or subtask or task for the quality management process. You can identify all the quality metrics that are important to you, and what define a quality product, what define a not quality product, what is expected from the developers in terms of quality. You have to maintain everything here, and also you can define your projects in such a way so that the quality is assured. Okay, actually we are in the planning stage, so we need to plan what are the quality metrics, what are the quality attributes, how to achieve those qualities, and what kind of quality is expected from whom, what should be the developer quality management, what should be the testers quality management, or how the tester will define the quality or measure the quality of the software system. So these are the ways you have to define the quality and how the quality management will go on, and how you will control the quality, how you will assure the quality. And again, you can create a small project, sub-project for this, or you can define as a task in the original project. And you will also need to communicate with others based on the complexity and responsibilities and the type of project. Anyway, after that you also need to plan on project monitoring and control. How you want to monitor the project progress, how you want to monitor the cost, how you want to monitor the project timeline, and how you also want to monitor the quality. So you have to get some plans on those factors, how you want to monitor different aspects of the project and how you want to control them. And as usual, you can create a sub-project or task to define it. You can assign some other persons who can work for you in this respect, or you yourself can do, and you can communicate with other people for the purpose. I think this is in the project planning. So we are telling we can use the planning tab. We can define the breakdown structure. We can define how the project goal will be achieved. We have to plan the execution and monitoring. We have to plan the human resource management, cost management, time management, risk management, quality management, communication management. Everything we have to plan. And what this planning mean, to understand that, you have to go to here and see all the different titles. Now comes the project execution. I think when everything will be finalized in planning stage, then we can change the status of this project into in progress. In the in progress, actually project manager does not have much work to do. I think at this point mostly the developers will work, or the testers may work, the business analysts may work based on the software engineering approach you have taken, or based on the situation. Anyway, when the project will be assigned into in progress, let in planning in progress. I think now based on the plan you have to work actively. Maybe in the breakdown structure you define all the breakdown. So for each of the tasks you have to create one of the tasks. I think for the development work, for each of the development tasks you have to create the corresponding task here, and you have to inform the developers and other persons involved the outcome of your communication management plan. And you have to create all the tasks, and when you create the tasks you have to assign all the cost or budget here. I think when you create the task, I think there is some ways that you can assign the target budget, and in the planning stage you have defined for each task what kind of budget you require. So you have to create everything in dot project now. And also in the human resource management planning, you have defined for which task who will be assigned. So you have to assign those persons here. Actually, one thing in the human resource management planning, we also told to create a task and assign some people there. Actually, those people are assigned to define human resource planning, or in the planning stage we assigned some people to the communication management plan, task or project, whatever we say. Their responsibilities would be to define the communication management or define the time management, but in the execution stage we have to focus on the task. For the development tasks we have defined in the planning stage, we have to create all the tasks, and then we have to define costs for all of the tasks. We have to define human resources for all of the tasks, and we have to define the task, which task is defined dependent on what. I think this dependency, maybe as you told in the time management, if we are using CPM model, and then we also have defined the dependencies of the tasks to one another. So we have to provide the dependencies here so that we know that when we want to start a new task, all the prerequisite tasks already done. And also in time management we assigned timing for each of the tasks. We have to assign the corresponding time here. So in this way we have to create everything, all of the tasks, and assign all human resource cost and time, everything we have to assign here. And while the project will be ongoing, we may need to create different forums so that the communication can happen, or we may need to create different events so that meeting can be arranged and people can talk. I think this can also be planned in the planning stage, but it may not be always possible to plan everything on the planning stage, but some outline should be there, and while execution based on the requirement, I think you can create some new events for the communication purposes. And also we saw that through the task log we can define the progress of the task, and you can request somebody else to take a look on it. And also I think we can define the how many hours you have worked and when the task has ended, and you can also define the progress 65% or 90%. I think the developers will be doing this after they are working on it. Time to time they can check the progress and they can update the task log if required, so that the management can see what are the issues with it, or if the developer needs assistance with someone else, so they can be informed of the task log. And for this task different persons will be assigned, so they will be able to check the task log and they will be able to proceed to the next step. And also if some documents is required, they can attach the file here so that other involved persons with this task will be able to consult the document and proceed accordingly. Okay, I think in the project execution, one aspect is the development project, and another thing is also the execution of project monitoring and control will be done here. Okay, let me see what I have told here. You have to create the project, you have to create all the tasks as defined in the task breakdown structure. I think for each of the tasks how the communication can happen, this we have to, okay, I think we already have covered these things in our discussions. And project monitoring and control. I think the developers will be working, the testers maybe will be working. As a project manager, you need to monitor their activities, maybe by checking at the task logs and the corresponding progresses, or by checking the calendar status of different projects, tasks, also by checking the events. You can know how things are going, and also from the tasks, from the progress, from the task log, from the progress and how many hours worked, you will know that how times are being utilized. Just controlling the time management, and if you have to do anything on that, you have to define new tasks or new projects, or you can arrange a meeting to discuss with this so that the timing is managed accordingly. Also, based on the hours work, you will be able to estimate the cost, how the costing is being managed or costing is being assigned or being utilized. So you'll be able to guess and calculate some steps and decide what to do and how to control the developers of the overall tasks. And also here we have also provided some information on the cost management. Okay, you have to analyze the cost in terms of these things, and also you need to calculate different values to understand how the project is costing and what will be the ultimate cost. So based on this, you will get an idea on how the costing being managed, and you will be able to take actions what to do next. And what to do next, for this purpose you can adjust the costs in different tasks, or maybe adjust the timing, or if you require to assign more people, you can do that, or you can call a meeting, you can create an event and discuss the topic. I think Dot project has all those features: creating event or adjusting the pricing or adjusting the cost, adjusting the time, everything you can do here. So this is the execution of your monitoring and control plan. Also execution of the project quality management plan. In the planning stage, you have defined or you have planned how to do the quality management. So you have to see that all the processes are being done according to the quality management plan. Maybe you have to check the developers' activities and other activities. Or from testers' feedback. From different testers' feedback, you'll be able to understand the quality management. And if you see that based on that testers' feedback, that quality is not being maintained properly, then you have to take necessary actions, creating new tasks or communicating to the developers or improving the process or improving the system. You can just do it. And risk management, maybe by consulting different documents or task logs or from the different meetings, you will know what are the current risks that are going on. Then you have to come up with ideas how to address those risks. And what you can do, you can create another task to address those risks, so that some people can be assigned, or you yourself will be working on it, and you can keep track on what you are doing, and you can write down your plans, and you can find ways to propagate to the right person. I think using dot project you can do all these steps. Okay, and what else? Then closing of the project. Finally, you need to close the project. In that case, you just have to make sure that everything is being done appropriately. You need to check the requirements from the clients. Maybe you can check the project charter to identify this, and then you have to see that all the features are implemented or not, all the tasks are implemented or not, and all the tasks are complete or not, and see all the dependent tasks are complete or not, and also check the quality are met. So you also have to check all the resources that are unnecessary after development, and those are also released and returned to the right place. Check with the clients their feedback and anything remaining to make sure that they're happy with the product, and also need to check all the documentations are done. If user manual needs to be created, that is being created, or there may have some official procedures to close the project or to get clearance from different departments or different places. So you have to make sure that all those documentations are also done, and you also have to check the dot project stuffs thoroughly. If you see that everything is great, then you can officially close the project with the appropriate authority. So what else of dot project can help in project management? You see the user administration. As part of the different activities, you will need to create different users. You can create all the users here, and I think add user. You can create roles, assign users to different tasks. You can restrict the users. I think developers and testers, they may have to log into the dot project system to be able to effectively communicate, so they may not need to get access to all of this. So you can restrict them or assign them some specific permission. So this can happen here. And these tickets, it will also help in project communication. I think in different stages, in all of the tasks or all of the subtasks or all phases, there may have some issues to be solved. They can go as part of the task on task log, or they can also commit here. If it's nothing related to any task or something, but it's some external issue or some issues that needs to be solved, some networking issues or programming issues, so that can come here. Or also if the client has any issues that needs to be solved, that are not related to any particular task or project, then you can define the tickets here. Just you can create new ticket. Someone can work on these tickets and close the tickets. And forums, as we told, contacts, I think in the second tutorial we told how it can help keeping the contacts all of the persons involved into the project. And files, I think you can take a glance sometimes here what are the updated files, and all the files and documents are here. And if you need to create any particular file for any particular task or project, you can create it and upload it here. So I think that's almost all. In brief, maybe in future we'll be creating more tutorials on project management as a theory, or also in terms of practical aspect, how to implement project. And we can also use some different tools like Microsoft Project to illustrate the ideas. And one thing maybe I have missed, the project resource management. Maybe for each of the tasks or projects, I think each of the tasks you also need to define some resources, some physical resources if you need them, and if you need to allocate them, you also need to work on that. I think it does not have any direct feature on resources. Maybe something is not activated, I think. Okay, I think resources, you can use the resources module to manage the resource requirements of different tasks in such a way so that the resources are effectively used. There is no conflict with another task or another department, another project. And it can also involve some cost. It can affect the cost management. You have to keep track on that. I think that's all. Bye for now. We will come back again. Thanks.